Hello and welcome to day 2 of 30 Days of Sound Body Wisdom. I'm your host, Renee Mitchell-Simpson, the self-love and happiness coach. So I created this series. If you missed the intro, you can go back and look at it. But real quickly, I created this series because I really want to make sure that we are listening to our bodies. Our bodies communicate with us all the time, but because we were not taught in our upbringing, a lot of us were not taught to listen to our bodies, we don't realize that discomfort, pain, those are ways that our body communicates with us. And so unfortunately, we are a lot of times taught that it's okay to take medication to shut that voice down. The body is trying to tell you, I don't want this behavior. I don't want to go in this direction. I don't want you to eat this. And instead of us listening, we're shutting that communication down. So I created this series to help us to really focus on listening to our bodies, because that's self-love. Like when you say you love someone, don't you listen to them? So our body's trying to communicate with us. Let's listen. So let's tune in and hear what our body has to say when our feet and legs are bothering us. All right, have you ever dealt with something like restless leg syndrome? If so, that means you may be dealing with some anxiety and you're not able to settle down when it's time to go to bed. You may be anxious about something coming up in your future. If you've ever dealt with plantar fasciitis, that's that pain that you get in the heel of your feet. And that could be because you're not feeling supported, or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed with a lot of things that you're dealing with in life. You may be feeling fearful about the next step that you may make in your life. Have you ever dealt with gout? That one is the big toe. That's when you're eating a lot of rich foods. Gout may flare up, but there could be some emotional connection there. Gout can be linked to built up anger and frustration. Anger that you're holding in the body that you need to release, or some sort of resentment. And then the one that I say for last that I'm going to mention, I'm sure there are many others, but I'm going to mention one that I've personally dealt with, and that is sciatica. And I want to talk about this one because out of all the ones that I have mentioned, I hear of this one more often. Sciatica. That is that pain that can go from your lower back or your buttocks all the way down your leg to your feet. And I have dealt with that one for sure. Now, there are emotions that can be tied to each of these, right? And what I want you to do is figure out what emotions are coming up for you if you are dealing with any of these issues in your body. Because our emotions, we need to deal with them. We have emotions that can be positive and negative. And if we're ignoring them and suppressing them, of course we want to deal with the positive. We want the happiness, the love, the joy, the peace. But when it comes to things like maybe fear or insecurity or instability, or anxiety, these are some of the emotions that are connected to the illnesses or the discomforts in the body that I just described. If we're not willing to deal with those, then we can end up going from discomfort and pain to something more aggressive, like an actual need for surgery or a disease, okay? So we want to deal with those things. Now, that area of the body, the lower half, that is connected to our energy center called the Root Chakra. The Root Chakra is the chakra that deals with foundation, security, survival, home, and money. So if you're having any issues in any of those areas, then you may be dealing with some problems with your feet and or your legs. So when these different emotions arise in our body, we need to pay attention to them, and we need to allow those feelings to flow through the body so that that energy doesn't get stuck in the body, in a certain area of the body, and create that discomfort. When we resist those emotions, then our nervous system becomes dysregulated. And what we want is for our nervous system to be regulated. When the nervous system is dysregulated, then we feel pain or other symptoms. So we want those emotions to flow through our body so that we are regulating the nervous system and we're not stuck with pain and discomfort, okay? The nervous system wants to keep us safe. That's its job. Our body's goal is to be safe. And so it alerts us with pain when emotions are not flowing through. So if you're feeling some issues in your legs, in your feet, restless leg syndrome, plantar fasciitis, sciatica, gout, anything like that, or anything that I didn't name, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. One, am I feeling safe in my body? And by that, I mean, are you afraid of any illness coming on? Are you afraid of something going on in your body? I don't know. You know better than I do. You know what I'm talking about. If this is you, you know. Am I feeling safe in my body? Am I feeling safe in my home? Am I feeling safe in my relationship? Okay, so you may have some issues going on in your house, issues going on in your relationship. It may be affecting your body in one of those ways that I listed. Another question to ask yourself, am I feeling stable in my life? How are things going on your job? How are things financially? Are there some issues there that may be turning up as these symptoms and discomforts? Another question you can ask yourself is, am I okay with the direction I am moving in? Is there someplace I'm going that I don't want to go? Am I being forced to leave somewhere, or am I being forced to go somewhere? Or am I not feeling secure with the direction that I'm taking financially? Maybe you're leaving a job. Maybe a job is ending. I'm not sure. What you know the issue. You know the issue. If this resonates with you, you know what I'm talking about. Now, me personally, I dealt with sciatic pain. I remember one year when that first hit me, I was having some indecision about taking a trip. So you ever heard about feeling torn? Ooh, honey, yes, that's exactly what I felt. I felt torn. I felt like my body was being pulled in two different directions. And I was having some serious indecision about taking this trip. So I totally know that this can be very, very real. This can be a very real experience. Now, so today's exercise, I have an affirmation for you, but I also want you to get grounded. I want you to go outside, put your feet on some grass or some soil or some sand, and I want you to say this affirmation, okay? I am safe, I am supported, I am rooted in strength. Again, I am safe, I am supported, I am rooted in strength. That is your affirmation if you're feeling any of those issues in your legs or in your feet. Write that one down and let that be one that you say each day. Your feet and legs are your foundation. They reflect not just your ability to move, but your sense of stability and security in life. Today, honor your feet and your legs by reconnecting with your foundation and affirming your strength. Tomorrow we'll move up to the bones and the base of the spine to see how support shows up in the rest of the body. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.